Welcome. We are in a new year. This is NerdinIn. It's episode 21. I'm Omar. We're all here just to kind of relive all the highlights and the shitty lights, flashlights, all that shit. Let's do it. 2021. I'm Omar. I'm from Dallas.
I'm Sean from Michigan.
I'm Trey from Dallas. Lauro from Houston.
And coming from Long Beach, California, it's me. I'm Paul.
What's up, y'all?
I have a quick question before you get into the whole annual thing.
What's up, man?
The name of the show is NerdinIn.
Yeah, sir.
Why is there like two INs in the name?
I don't know, Sean. Why don't you tell us? Creator, why don't you tell us?
We started this podcast basically when we were all shut in when the pandemic first hit. So we had nothing better to do, and it's basically a way for all of us to not go insane and reconnect with each other over the internet.
So you're nerding and
instead
you're
of
in
yep
instead of like out.
Yep, instead of nerding out, it's nerding in.
I've been following the Instagram for a long time, and like, and I'm always like, I don't understand the name, and now I get it. I feel I should have watched more of the show, I guess. But
well, now you're on it. You don't have to watch it because you're in it, bro.
That's right.
You should send them a DVD collection, all 320 hours of Omar's after show drinking, where you almost fall off the balcony trying to show us your Christmas lights.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah, so we're just gonna
to call out our other members.
What's up?
Randy and Craig are not coming to our call because they're buttheads.
Okay. Yeah, and if Daryl and Craig, if they're able to jump on later, cool. They jump on.
Yeah, they jump on whenever.
They do.
It's on. Yeah. So we're just gonna jump through a bunch of shit, not just in general, just different like themes, be it like comic books, film, streaming shows, music, something we haven't really touched on too much, but it's just all something we live and you can just hear by the way we talk in our vernacular. Shit, man. Where you guys want to start?
You're the boss.
Well, fuck, man, you got your shit all set up, dude. Let's talk about some music.
All right, the thing that appeals to the least amount of people.
What?
The audience. Let's get it going.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna look at this. I got a top 25 ready to go. Best songs of the year. So I think the biggest, most critically acclaimed group of the year is Run the Jewels. And I would assume many people have listened to that. That's like a very popular group now, which is crazy. Like when I was in college, LP was in a group called Company Flow.
Oh, that's
and no one they were like made a little bit of noise, but only on like college radio and stuff. And it's weird to me that dude is like a big time music artist now. And then Killer Mike from Atlanta and like the whole Outkast family, Dungeon family. And now those two are in a group together, like 4 albums deep, and like selling out tours when they do it, and going like on tour with Rage Against the Machine and shit like that is amazing. And I don't know, and so sounds like a few of you guys have heard that album, but like to me, that's the best Run the Jewels album yet, which is pretty rare. I feel like after an album or two, most groups kind of like have lost inspiration, like they used it all up and it kind of goes away, but that shit went hard.
For sure. I feel like that album in general too, and just kind of like Killer Mike, in his voice, I mean, he's in a special space where he's always been kind of like a sermon and deacon for like streets and politics and trying to educate people, especially Black people. And like, I feel like that album hella rings hard because of obviously all the shit with Black Lives Matter and everything that's been happening, especially 2020. So
right, and recorded before any of that really went down. Like George Floyd thing had not happened when they recorded the album, but it's kind of like a timeless thing. Like the cops are fucking assholes and they're going to do what they do. So it's like, you can say it 20 years ago, you can say it 100 years ago, you can say it right now, like same basic concept. And yeah, it's funny. I think, Omar, we're on a group thread where there was a short discussion about like who's a better rapper, LP or Killer Mike. And like, isn't that kind of obvious that Killer Mike is known as like the better rapper, but LP is a great producer and like a serviceable rapper who makes a lot of dick jokes in his raps. And they're good dick jokes. They're funny. So like, you know, he's got other stuff too. I don't want to like say LP's not good, but like Killer Mike is one of the best to ever do it, I feel like. So it's weird debate. I think LP would definitely himself like stand aside and say, yeah, it's Killer Mike is the lead rapper in the group. And I'm like the super dope producer. I don't know, Omar or any of you guys have a opinion on that. If you want to like test me on that, we can talk about it.
Oh no, man, I'm not trying to test you. Killer Mike, dude, for sure.
Yes. All right. And then someone who like is very famous person but didn't show up like on any year-end list that I saw was Childish Gambino. And like his last album was like real critically acclaimed and really popular and had Redbone on it, and that was like a big hit. And he comes out this year when like we're all shut down and like have nothing to do, and comes out with this super thoughtful, smart, funny, like great, just like still has like the funk, but it's like kind of evolved into more of a future funk sound. And you look at all the year-end lists and he's just like nowhere to be found. I think people are like, fuck Donald Glover, man. He's like too talented. The show Atlanta's too good. Like, fuck that. Like he doesn't get to have like the best show and the best album. But there's like no bad songs on it. It's really amazing album and like super like easy to listen to over and over again. I mean, if you're into like R&B, soul, funk type stuff. So very odd. And then the last thing I would say, besides just like you can read this list, you can take your screenshot or whatever and download it and then pretend like you know about music like me, which I'm almost washed and maybe I'm not the best example anymore. But this guy at the top, Duke Deuce, young guy from Memphis, kind of bringing back the 3-6 Mafia crunk shit. And he's got a song called Crunk Ain't Dead, which is number 6 on here with Project Pat on it, and Juicy J too. I don't know why his name is not listed on the thing there. And Lil Jon. Shit goes hard. Like if you working out, like you're trying to get hyped to play basketball, Omar, or whatever, just like trying to get ready, fucking feeling yourself, like that is a song to put on, because you will like put your head through the fucking wall. You will throw whatever drink you have into the wall and get shit everywhere. And you will just be ready to fight or cause trouble or any kind of shit. So I guess if you're already on like edge, maybe not the best music to listen to, but if you like, you need to get there, you're trying to get there, I highly recommend Crunk Ain't Dead. And the top song on there, which is it's less of a single, more of an album cut, but BHZ is just like the hardest shit out as far as I'm concerned. And that is definitely my kind of thing. So,
you know what's tragic is
there you
that
have it.
we can't play samples of this,
Right?
because
better
we'll
if I
get
could just play
demonetized
it.
or copyright striked. And I think that's why people generally don't talk about music, which is a damn shame. Like I'm even wary to like repeat lyrics. So
You get shut down. Oh, and Duke Deuce has one of a pretty popular meme this year from the song Crunk Ain't Dead. There's a part where he falls on the ground, he's pretending he's dead, and then he like puts his hand like here, and then like the heart starts pumping again, and all of his crew like starts bringing him back up. So it's like, you know, on like election night, it looked like Biden was gonna lose, and then he didn't, and it was just like, oh, Biden comes back or whatever, and it was just like the Duke Deuce meme. But people don't really know who he is like that. But
what are you talking about?
Meme, though.
What are you talking about?
Who?
16 million dead people. The entire
Yeah.
Confederate army voted for Biden. Didn't you know?
So there you go. Otherwise, it was a pretty good year for music. I still find a lot of things to enjoy. People are out here. I feel like albums aren't as big a deal anymore, probably because major labels are basically dead and no one's there to like show young people the way how to make a coherent album and not just like keep getting streams, you know, which is the new revenue thing. So still a lot of good music though, a lot of good songs to hear.
Yeah, and very, very heavy. If you guys can't tell, Trey's all about the raps, all about the lyricism.
I like the raps, I like the funk. Those are my two main things. So yeah, I guess if I have Tame Impala on here, that was a good like rock album or alternative, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But I guess if you're looking for the rock albums, I'm probably not the music person to give it to you.
Yeah, well,
This
this
is
probably isn't the podcast either for that. So
This is really bad.
There you go.
I don't know any of this list at all.
Sean, I'm going to send you this list to help you
No,
out.
no, seriously, send me it. Send me it. I will listen to
What's
it.
your platform, your preferred streaming platform?
I use Spotify, but I can turn on iTunes.
I have it on there too, so I'll just send you that.
Look,
All right,
we
that
got
sounds
Wet
good.
Ass Pussy this year. And then we got the remix by Ben Shapiro. And that in itself was also a gift.
The WAP Ben Shapiro remix is hot shit. Like,
Yeah.
if Apple had that, Apple Music had that, that would probably be on this 2025 best.
Yeah. I want to use a parody where, because remember he was making turkey. I just want to call it Dry Ass Turkey. I started writing like a ton of lyrics for it. But I don't have it readily available because I didn't know we'd be talking about this. So
of course we can.
That's like the best cell phone too of the year was him being like, "Oh my god, like she needs to go to the doctor if her pussy's just wet or whatever." It's like, bro,
a vaginal
You didn't say
discharge is just it's a medical problem that my
problem.
wife has never.
yeah, it's like, damn, bro.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that if I were you, even if it were true. But
it's so
hats
great.
off to you, Ben Shapiro, keeping it real.
You can send your ass to Tennessee or wherever you move to. 5'6".
Yeah, I love fucking J Electronica. That album was sick. That was definitely that track was definitely
That's
the
like
one.
to me, Flux Capacitor is the hardest one.
Oh,
on
it's
the
so
album,
good.
and that's the one that gets me. Sweet Rihanna sample on there.
Yeah. And then
And
Pop
it's
Shit.
like-
I love that made your list, even though it's in 25, but it's still fucking sick. I mean, it's pretty recent, right? Like it just came out maybe like
oh yeah,
4 months ago or some shit.
yeah. Reason's album dropped just like 2 or 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and it's really good. And one I think that, so I don't know everyone's taste on here, but Omar, I have a feeling you would like a lot, is the Toby. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce his last name because I don't know how to, but the
Nuiwe?
Cinco Originals album, the whole thing, I think you would be vibing. That dude can
Dude,
rap his ass off.
For sure. Yeah, you introduced me to him actually.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that album just came out like 2 weeks ago, and it is a fire album. I would definitely
Yeah, his wife got
get into that.
his wife can sing too.
His wife can sing and rap. She's on this song "Eat" down here,
Okay.
and like kind of steals the show. So definitely give it a listen. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Cool, man.
Share the floor back to y'all.
Where does all of y'all's music taste? Because I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously this ain't a music pod, but I feel like, you know, there's a lot of intersection of shit we listen to.
I usually listen to classic rock or like soundtrack music, but lately I've been listening to synthwave just so I have something without lyrics, keeping me awake when I'm working.
So
Let me ask you a question about that. So classic rock, do you allow something like Funkadelic to get into your classic rock
Yeah,
list?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
George
I do like-
Clinton.
Their first like few Funkadelics, like first 4 or 5 albums are pretty much just like they were like doing acid and into like the Beatles and shit like that, and they were just making like black funk rock, and it's amazing. It's not, none of it really blew up. It's not like the most popular thing ever, but like everyone knows the album Maggot Brain, and that's like just amazing, like rock music. That, so I was just wondering if it got in there. I'm happy to hear it does. As you can see, I'm a big fan of them. So.
Yeah, I like funk. I like rockabilly. I like all kinds of like adjacent stuff. So
you're talking about like synthwave as kind of like more of an instrumental, something you can like kind of work to, but still chill out to? Or
yeah, that, and like, you know, a lot of soundtracks these days have gone to like the 80s sound where and it actually sounds, some of the stuff sounds like even better than what the 80s was actually. So yeah, it's just they're doing cool stuff with the synth sound.
Cool. Have you ever heard of a band called Krongbin?
I probably heard of stuff.
Yeah,
like
they're
them.
from Texas. They're from
like
Texas.
South Texas somewhere, I think.
Yeah, they're dope, man. They're fucking real good, and they have this kind of style that's I think kind of based off of old like Thai rock groups.
Music. Yeah.
So they got some cool sound, and their look is very kind of like psychedelic 50s 60s shit.
That's like the best swimming pool music to me is that band. Like you just put that shit on, put all their albums on loop when you're at the pool chilling. Like that's the perfect pool vibe to me.
And then one other thing I was going to say, Sean, do you listen to much Japanese lo-fi?
I have been listening to some lo-fi. I don't know if it's Japanese, but with the Japanese stuff I've listened lately, I've been listening to some of the more jazzy pop,
for sure,
lo-fi type of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit being released. Like I got into like lo-fi and just Japanese music when I was in college, because I was like trying to listen to the language on a regular.
Right, trying to learn the language.
Yeah. And like right now, I think there's a whole like lo-fi movement. A lot of it's never kind of gone away. I mean, I think the big name you probably say is like Seba Jun or Nujabes. Like he's the dude. He's the guy that kind of really brought it mainstream. Rest in peace. So there's some like big ass crews out there right now that are doing that sound. I would say Pio, my favorite, is I think Tsubaki. He is dope. Highly recommend. His album came out I think 2019. He recently put out like a remastered like mix, and it's just so fucking good. I listen to that shit all the time. He's really good. Yeah, check it out.
All right, will do.
What about you, Lauro?
Man, my music sense goes back and forth between sad emo boy, a little bit of 80s, a little bit of the new stuff. And I mean, yeah, right now I'm stuck on Death Cab for Cutie, Postal Service. It's just the weather. The weather really makes me, I guess it dictates my type of mood. And, you know, summer comes around and I'm jamming Kanye West's Cruel Summer hits with all the bangers on there. But yeah, when it's wintertime, I just become sad boy, and I just want to just put my hoodie on, bro, and just vibe out.
It feels good to listen to sad music though, right? Like when your soundtrack matches your mood.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like what was it? The other day it was like hella storming, and then Death Cab came on, Translanticism, the song Translanticism. Man, it just hit like just it was steady raining. I'm driving. I'm like, oh my God, moods, feels. What is this? Love it, you know.
So I went to like a Death Cab concert, and they're cool fucking band, super good live. But damn, do not watch close to the fucking stage. You'll get spat on. Because like fucking what's his name? He's just like I think like hardcore, like Ben was it Shepard or whatever the fuck his name is. Giver,
Giver,
thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, like he just like, I guess, at least from what I've seen, like he's just smoking a lot and drinking a lot. I don't know, it's just fucking spinning everywhere. I'm like, oh, fuck that.
Have you done concerts? What? That's all of them.
Yeah.
Even symphonies. Yeah.
Really?
One is
Yeah, party animals. Those
Yeah, bro,
tromboners,
the
they got
band,
a
the
spit.
director just turn around and like hawk a loogie on the audience and
Dude, yeah, he's
Fine.
ass forward to the audience. That's crop dusting. What do you think the tails are for? I was in marching band, man. I know. I was a drummer. That's why we
Nice.
turn. We're just trying to fan that shit. That's cool. You guys are so proud of your music tastes. I'm always ashamed, no matter what. Even if it's like popular, people will be like, oh, that's music for the masses. You listen to System of a Down? Oh, you listen to Juice World? You listen to, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm new to everything. So I like what I like. And the media I have, unfortunately, that's how I hear about new music. I don't follow artists because like Kanye kind of broke my heart because I was like listening to Lupe Fiasco and Kanye. And then he started going crazy and calling himself God. And not like in a good way, like Jay-Z. He was just like legit holding service and being crazy. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. I guess I have to find another rapper that I
There's a lot out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's sadly MF Doom passed in October, and
Yeah.
I
sad.
recently listened to his tracks, and there's like different messages. Like I like how the Black experience in rap is being represented a lot. Like it's a broader spectrum, either it's about losing your virginity and not being sure of yourself with who am I talking about? I'm
You're
bad
talking
with
about
names.
yourself.
Yeah, no, I've never done this before. Is the refrain in the rap? It's hey,
Yeah, J. Cole.
J. Cole. Yeah. J.
Yeah.
Cole. Like I love listening
right.
about that stuff, and yeah, it's good. What MF Doom was talking about is just like being a kid and watching Disney Afternoon and what it's like to live in New York, and yeah, it's just cool stuff.
Fucking eating cereal. Like
Yeah.
all that shit.
There's a rapper named Duckworth. He's kind of like a rapper singer who is like very clever and has a good clean sound, like good clean production, not like no curse words clean, but like Kanye West, that shit was clean. Everything sounded really good, like just like you got money behind your production and you know what you're doing. So that dude is a really good rapper, good singer, has like good quality fun production. So it's like I would say if you're looking to replace the Kanye in your life, that's a good place to start.
That sounds very Scientology of you. If you're looking
Yes.
for another path.
If you're looking to get rid of those thetans, I would say to listen to Duckworth.
Yeah, cool. Duckworth, got it.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, that's all.
No, man, it's not. First of all, we got to touch on MF Doom a little bit because we are like, kind of like a comic nerd fucking pod. So what I love about MF Doom is like he straight up wore like, his version of a Dr. Doom mask whenever he performed. People didn't know who he was. I mean, hardcore hip hop heads knew of his roots in hip hop and his crew that was like around even like in like the early 90s and shit. Yes. So I love fucking how he brought in all the fucking Doom sound bites and shit from like the Fantastic Four cartoon and Spider-Man cartoon and use that shit in his album. Yeah, man. It's sad. And he's so young too. He's like what, 49, 48?
Yep, 49.
49.
You got it right.
Fuck, man. Crazy.
Please release the MF Doom Ghostface album. That's the shit we all need to hear. I know that's sitting in somebody's archives somewhere, just sitting there. None of us get to hear it. Let us hear it. Let us pay respect to the man.
I'll press triangle. Yeah.
Hey, what was going on though? Someone like was actually rapping for him on stage for a few months. Are you guys in the know on that shit?
There was an imposter MF Doom for not an imposter. I think MF Doom was like, I'm sick of this or whatever. I don't remember him ever giving a reason for why he was not appearing on stage, and someone else was wearing the mask and like pretending to be a film in his place, but he got in trouble for that. He wasn't the best like live performer for sure. He was just like in the studio, like weirdo raps, like every rapper's favorite rapper type of guy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, like what drove him to hire like a replacement MF Doom for him for a while there.
Well, I guess when you wear a
did
mask, you can kind of do that. Because there's
That's
rumors
it,
that
I mean,
like
yeah, you make it
Daft Punk
easy.
used to do that too with their onstage stuff. So
would they get someone else to just stand in for them?
there's rumors that other people stood in.
That's fucking hilarious.
I kind of respect it in a way. Like to me, like working hard is not something like everyone should strive for. Like being happy and like living a good life is what you should strive for. So if you can get away with not working as hard and people don't know any better, then like great, good for you.
I mean, Sean's obviously a part-time Korean boy band member, so you know it's good.
Hey, those K-pop people work hard. They train a lot.
Sean
I
stands
couldn't
in
do
for
it.
BTS.
Yeah.
Or Blackpink.
Mm-hmm.
More
I don't know
Blackpink
any
than
of
BTS.
No, it's a girl band. That was a joke.
Okay.
So what should we jump on next? Actually, Paul, why don't you fucking weave us through the beauty of like toys and animation and fucking all the crazy shit that we've been seeing. Like just I guess there's so much to see, but like
Yeah,
obviously Transformers is like the shit, right?
I think it's just Hasbro in general. So Hasbro came out with G.I. Joe in the 6-inch edition. We're used to 3.75, the little, well, in the 80s. And then there was the 12-inch Kung Fu grip with real Vietnam veteran hair, beards. Freaking Destro. I have so many questions on Destro. Like, how the fuck does he work? Also,
Well, yeah, he had the leopard print. I had to get
it. Leopard. I would say that Star Wars figures, because like I feel like Hasbro is the biggest one. It's Marvel Legends in the 6-inch, yeah, and then the Black Series. It's not something you invest in for sure. I don't think, as far as Star Wars figures, you'd have to get something really thing. Let's see, but yeah, the Transformers, they have a cartoon on Netflix that came out. War for Cybertron, Siege, and then that would be one of the many tie-ins that they have. That Sean is, our Blackpink hostess, snack cake over here. Our Vanna not so white. Yeah. There's a Top Gun one, not so great.
There's a Ecto-1 coming out next
Wait,
year.
a Top Gun toy?
Yeah.
Transformer. Yeah,
it's a mix of
okay.
Starscream and obviously the Tomcat.
Maverick.
So. I think is the
Maverick,
name.
yeah.
So it's okay. It's not great. Let me see. Oh, and then the Ecto-1, there's a lot of exclusive on Hasbro Pulse. There's just a lot to talk about. Omar kind of like
Yeah, there's a retro series as well.
Yeah, you like drafted me. I just there's a lot to go over.
Dude,
like,
I know
I'm
this is what you live and love, bro. So this is just one of the things, right? But I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that we both just did you finish Earthrise already?
Yeah, it was really short. It was like 6 episodes, right? Yeah. They brought in the Quentin Tarantino
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You knew from the previews. And if you didn't, you're not a real fan. I have to say, though, I don't know how you feel. I don't know how much you've been collecting as far as Siege figures versus the Earthrise, but the quality control is a little bad on the Earthrise figures. It's definitely more delicate, because before you could just like cram it together and it'd roll and it looked like a truck. I know we're adults. We're talking about toys here, but yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like pegs falling off and then shipping. Do you guys buy it when you buy your stuff? Do you buy it like pre-order or do you guys kind of like wait?
Some of the stuff you have to pre-order or you're never gonna find it.
Correct, because fucking scalpers. For me though, I'll pre-order and then I'll get it like 5 months after it's been reviewed. And it kind of it's okay, but it comes like super late. So I do get kind of a jealousy factor on that. Top picks for Transformers. Omar, what sticks out for you? I'll ask you.
For me, I don't know. I just love that they're bringing out, animation, and they call it on Netflix an anime, which it's kind of contrived and funny, and they're just using it as a label. But obviously, they're just selling toys, man.
Yeah.
But I love it. The quality production, it's not for everybody. It's definitely for, I think, for the hardcore fans or for maybe people that have not seen it. I actually agree with you on the way the toys are made for Earthrise, and definitely War for Cybertron's way better quality. I also think the same with the animation. I mean, I feel like the voice acting was choppy and shitty, and I feel like the visuals, like I feel like just the production was just not as good. It started off in the first 2 episodes pretty good,
yeah.
But for Earthrise, and then obviously my big guy that like the one that I got was Jetfire, Skyfire, whoever you want to call it.
Yeah,
just one of the best toys that I think Hasbro has made in like 15 years.
Yeah. Also, they introduced the effects like clear plastic, where it's like bullets or laser beams or explosions, and it's super cool. They also gave us a black and white dead Optimus Prime, which is super sick. So they're really cashing in on the nostalgia of the 80s.
Oh, that's not Nemesis?
Oh, bro.
No. They do have a Nemesis.
That's like the
this is-
legit cartoon movie. Dying
I need to bust it out, but actually, we can go in my virtual background because I have it.
See, Paul and I are like Sean. We let our toys run free.
Oh, yeah.
We take them out of the box, and unpacking and shit.
But yeah, he's like dead.
You
and
weirdo,
stuff.
Sean.
Yeah.
No, I have boxes like literally everywhere in my apartment. I just have not unpacked in 6 months.
It happens, man. You're working, you're dating, you're getting it out, you're getting it in with.
I'm not like Trey. I'm not working hard. I'm not unpacking my stuff.
You're pandemic working hard. All right. You're working your personal demons.
No, I'm striving for Trey's if you can get away with not working hard mentality.
Yes, sir.
Work
That's the way to
smarter.
do it. You're just working for the man. F that.
Yeah. Here's the thing too, like I don't know how everybody's income has been, but like yeah, I think it's been easier to get most figures,
Mm-hmm.
And there's still competitive stuff with the stores, but so many things to talk about. I just don't know how interesting they are.
Dude, they're so deeply interested. It's so good, bro. You just gotta like let it just all flow. Just
let it all flow.
Tell us what's really in your heart, bro.
In my heart, to be fair, it's like one of those like what a time it is to be alive. No offense to the 350,000 people that died of COVID, but if you're a Transformers fan,
thanks, Trump.
Yeah, hey, a lot of room to spread around. But like, yeah, the Transformers, as far as like what we have and how big they are, I like them at the size because you can shove them in your closet when you hate them. Whereas other Transformers like Trypticon, it's just like, well, this is my bachelor pad. Walk around the Millennium Falcon and the USS Flag. We might be able to do some foreplay next to the.
You didn't get the Unicron?
The Unicron. I have an old Unicron. I'm not going to buy the new one. Same with the Omega Supreme that's coming out this year. It's just you have to. Who has the space, really? I fell in the trap of I think Pops are dead personally. As they're at least not at their height. And I used to buy a bunch of Funko Pops because they would make merch for shows that I love, like Ash versus the Evil Dead, old He-Man. I don't know. They're kind of cool. But when you have 1,000 of them, no, you got to get a storage thing. And Nerf. I'm really big into Nerf. And
My brother is huge in it.
this year, Nerf was trash. They got destroyed by Walmart exclusives that shoot 150 FPS. It's like Walmart was like, okay, look, there was a school shooting. We're going to take the gun toys out of the toy aisle, but we're going to make the guns more powerful. So you are going to lose your eye to a Daisy air rifle. I promise you. What else? What else?
There was wasn't there like the Mandalorian? They had like a Nerf.
The rifle
like
is coming up. Yeah. That's pretty huge. The helmet series, they're pretty good. Halo for Xbox that got delayed, but the merch is coming out, and those are really good replicas. And then Fortnite and Nerf has a strong presence, and it's actually okay. It's just all that stuff has such a huge inflated price. You're paying like $50 and $80 for
The name.
a thing that, like, I described the firing mechanism like it's like trying to pee after sex. Like, you don't know where it's gonna go. You apologize later for the mess, and then you have to go change the roll of toilet paper because there was a huge accident. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that and like with, are you guys down at, wait, who's still in Cali? None of us, right?
Paulus.
It's your
Paulus,
boy,
okay.
LBC.
Are you guys are still in lockdown there, right? So you can't even go out and have like Nerf wars with.
There is a
your
Nerf
friends.
group that does not give a shit. So for the most part, they do practice because they'll send video footage of what they're doing. I just
Okay.
happen to, I have like pre-diabetes type 2, so I don't want to risk it. But yeah, they still go up to the park and they still play. I mean, they're relatively far apart and it's outdoors. It's not like guys are all jumping in a giant parachute and like hot boxing. Just it's fun. It's good exercise. I actually got into drones, and there might be only 1 year left of that because the FAA is like, we need to ID everything. So no more peeping Tom, no more graffiti on Mitch McConnell's front porch asking where's my money, bitch.
Did they do that with a drone?
Someone do that?
You could, but I'm just pulling it together because Mitch McConnell's house in Kentucky got vandalized, and but same did
Darn.
Nancy Pelosi had a severed pig's head on her doorstep. So
Yeah,
You
fuck
know.
both those Mitches.
close, and I'll give you points for that.
Yes.
Wow, in 2021, Mitch
Yep.
replaced bitch. Other toys. Yeah, I don't know. Since outdoor toys were not a big deal, like super soakers and like the summer's kind of just, it's just all going to be clearanced and thrown into the Goodwill pile. What else have I purchased? Oh, Marvel Legends. They started doing all the movie stuff. So that was pretty cool. I got Domino from the Deadpool movie, Deadpool 2.
No,
He
that's really good
is-
quality. It's dope.
Yeah, they do laser. You know how wrestling action figures, they get the laser of their face?
Yeah.
Like Marvel has upgraded everything. So they actually look good.
Yeah, they just I just saw at Target today they had the Spider-Verse stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I actually picked up the Hand Ninja from that line. So
And speaking of toy hunting, that is so tough to do because people are going to want that Hand Ninja, but more importantly, they're going to want Stilt Man's legs to make a 50-foot Stilt Man. Just
For those
keep
of you
plugging.
For those of you that are not familiar with different toy lines and toy references, so the Hand Ninja is like the generic ninja. He's not just a ninja that's jerking off in private, publicly, in front of everyone.
It's a ninja. They'll never be seen. What are you talking about? That's how
No,
you.
ninjas always do it better from behind.
No, that's not how it goes.
Oh, fuck. Help me, bro. Help me.
It's I'm in and out before you knew I came, and that's how you're pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
ninjas.
All right.
Hi, this is the Degenerate Hour. We're gonna talk about how we accost women in the middle of the night.
Every episode, we lose all of our viewers.
Not entirely true. I feel for everyone we lose, we pick up 2, and then we lose them next week.
Yes,
Yes.
we re-lose them every single time.
Yeah, just like herpes sores, we think we rubbed one out, but 2 more take its place. Hail Hydra.
Well, thank you on that note, Paul. A big year for, obviously nerding in and just fucking being shelter in place is obviously video games. And Laura, what has been taking up most of your time on the
Man, as the game that I've been playing the most has been probably game of the year of 2020, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
That game right there. That's
Nice.
Is that the official game of the year?
I think Hades is the game of the year for IGN.
I'm basing it off of my opinion.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
Gotcha.
my opinion.
I
Because
just-
I don't have a PS5. Cyberpunk is absolute trash.
It
I haven't
sucks.
played Valhalla. X things. I don't have an Xbox either. So just Ghost of Tsushima has been fantastic. I don't think there's been that many releases. I mean, there was Resident Evil 3, the remake of Resident Evil 3, but I hear that was not up to par as much as people love Resident Evil 2, from my understanding. Apparently they cut corners with Resident Evil 3, and that there's a lot of butthurt people about that. So, I mean, another one of the things that really came into its own in 2020 was what is that? What's that game? Red Dead Redemption, the online series. I mean, I don't know if y'all have been spending time as being bad cowboys on there or good cowboys or whatever, but their online has really expanded. Like, you used to be a trapper, a bounty hunter, or I don't even know what the third one is. But still, I have wasted so much time on that game. But Ghost of Tsushima has just been an absolute pleasure to play. It's so beautiful, and then for the fact that the graphics are just amazing, so detailed.
Yeah, they have that photo mode that's insane.
Did you guys
man.
hear that he's like the first autistic like protagonist? Because
No.
he has like a low, I don't know, emotional quotient, but he reacts accordingly based on those judgments. Like, that's why he's such a good killer, because Ghost of Tsushima is the Mongols versus the Japanese. Yeah, that's all.
Wow. No, I hadn't heard about that. I thought he was an efficient killing machine, you kind of like, just random protagonist, just going around slitting people's throats from behind and everything, random.
Random.
I bought the game like 3 weeks ago. I was like, it's something to do during like holiday vacations and stuff, and it is awesome. First of all, I love it. Have you ever played what's the Lord of the Rings game?
Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor. It feels like a lot like that, except not whack Lord of the. Sorry, I'm not a Lord of the Rings lover. I really don't like any of that. So I'm like, it's like that, except I don't have to deal with any of that dumb Lord of the Rings story shit. I can it's all this awesome samurai shit that I like. It's awesome. I love it. I'm just like spending way too much time playing it all the time. Have to get yes, check it out. There he is. Sakai. Anyway,
and they were fucking
I'm very
selling
into it.
they were selling his mask. There's a bunch of artists that crafted the mask, which I've actually seen a few people rocking in Dallas, which
Really?
obviously
What?
yeah, obviously
yeah.
we have to wear a mask and shit, but they have it where it's kind of like obviously decorative, not functional, but they have their little under mask on it. But
Little
yeah, man,
mustache ones, those are sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I really like, so I haven't finished it yet, so I can't say like how it goes in the end, but I was, in the first act, I was like, the only thing is maybe it's like the difficulty isn't hard enough. I mean, I have it on normal difficulty. I'm not like a hardcore gamer. So usually my things are on normal. And I was getting to where I was pretty proficient killer. I was like, anyone who's out in the street just walking around, any Mongols, I'm like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm gonna murder everyone I see. And it was like where I wasn't taking any hits, even just like murdering everyone, no problem. And now it's not murder, like they're invaders. So it's really self-defense, but it's more fun to say murder.
It's murder, but it's
Act 2,
comic.
I'm struggling a little bit. Like I'm still surviving all my encounters, but they're definitely making me bleed now. So it's a fun game, and like it starts easy and then it's increasing in difficulty as I go. So I guess that's the way it should go.
Unless you're a sadist and you like Dark Souls and you just want to get trolled by enemies.
I tried to play that and I was like, I don't get it. Like it took me like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out.
Well, I like it because you don't have like crazy moves. And if your guy is like weak, he's kind of clumsy and shitty, just like if I were to be in the game. And I kind of like that. It's like why I like racing games that include shitty cars. It's like drive a Honda Civic versus a Bugatti. I think what's notable though is that there's been so many other samurai games that just didn't quite make it. So there was Neo 1 and 2. There was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Bushido Blade is like forever ago. And then finally we get one where it just feels good. The combat feels good. Pairing feels good.
So good and like right. And a lot of times what's frustrating in a lot of games is like their shit just doesn't work the way it should. I press this button and it doesn't react the way I thought it should. And there's just no like problem. Everything works. Mm-hmm. If someone if I get killed, it's not because game glitched or something weird happened. Like I just wasn't quick enough or I didn't time it right. Like I haven't thrown the control down and been like game's cheating like once. I'm just like, nope. It's like the game plays great. No problems with it at all. Like it's really fun and a lot of blood. feels good.
And bath time, so you can wash that blood off. So
that's right. Yes, and get naked in there's like plenty of butt to see. Omar, you would like that.
And then you get attacked in those hot springs. So then there's more blood.
Oh, I have not been attacked in the hot springs yet. So looking forward to that.
There are glitches in the earlier versions. So
okay.
When you're like in a dialogue, but people are getting killed, which is funny in every game, like Red Dead.
So time out. Question for the group, all the players I think everybody plays this game on here but me. So you can be banging geishas in this game?
Banging geishas? Geishas? There it is.
I'll leave that to the people who have completed the game. I have not yet banged a geisha.
We're talking about real life, brah? Real life? Sometimes I have sex with Nakatomi Plaza on Die Hard. That's like banging a geisha. By sex, I mean my waifu pillow, but it's the same thing, right? Same thing?
Well, Omar, if you do want to get pervy in a video game, one of the games that I started at the beginning of the pandemic was Final Fantasy VII Remake. And there is a scene in there where you go to a hand massage parlor.
That.
Yes.
And you can see Cloud react during his massage. So
really?
I thought you were talking about when Cloud is the lady boy for that whatever that guy's name is.
No. So if you played the original on PS1, they took basically like the first fourth of the game and added a bunch of side quests and other stuff to it and really fleshed out the world where a lot of the towns were just, like not even pre-rendered, just they were flat backgrounds back in the day, and it took maybe all of a minute to run across the screen. So now you can actually go and visit all the stalls and the little shops and everything. So and this was one of the more hyped games from back
Oh, for sure.
like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, everyone was clamoring for this, and they kept on teasing it, and then they finally announced it with the trailers and stuff. So the combat is it's like
Kingdom Hearts.
it's better than Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not as frantic as those two. And then you have more of a balance, and you do have different play styles with the characters. So Cloud and like Tifa and Barrett, they'll play different. And I guess a minor spoiler, like at the end of this, you don't know, even if you played the original and like they're just remaking all the discs, you don't know where this is going. They've completely opened the door for what the next parts are going to do. So this is a multi-part thing because they're probably trying to milk it, but I will throw down money. I am okay with that.
I thought Aerith was a much more fleshed out character in this one. Like, she's legit funny, and she teases you and stuff. Like, she gives you shit. And it's like, yeah, I could like a real person like that. Because before you're like, oh, it's just JRPG dialogue. They're going to say some cheesy emo stuff that I don't relate to. But in this game, it feels good. So
yeah, and they have voice actors that flesh out all the cutscenes and even like in-game dialogue. Even the NPCs, when you're running past them, you can hear their chatter, and they have like, funny things that they say and stuff like that.
yeah, because Final Fantasy X, there were some really cringe moments in the facial expressions, and there's a dialogue scene where Tidus is like, fine, I will try laughing. Ha ha ho ha.
Yeah, like people say 10s are like the best Final Fantasy, and I could not. Yeah, that was one of the worst scenes ever, like cringe-wise. That alone will never let 10 be like the best. It's
yeah. Were you finished? I didn't mean to.
No, I'm finished.
Okay, because I do want to bring up the flops of this year, and I would say the Avengers video game. I played the
big
demo.
time.
Oh my god, and that's also Square Enix. So there's
and
no.
I'll call out.
There's
some of
like there's no good Avengers games, right? Like they're all uniformly.
Actually,
well, no, there is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which
boom.
Technically you could call that Avengers.
Logan's been an Avenger, and that means X-Men Origins, the Wolverine game, was actually better than the movie.
Spider-Man has also been an Avenger, and that game is.
So I know the Spider-Man movie, the
Miles
game
Morales,
would be good. I've never played it, but I played a couple of Avengers ones, and they're just like
the Iron Man VR
like cash-ins.
was actually okay. The problem isn't the not so much the game style. It's just when you get an upgrade, you don't get like an actual aesthetic. It just ups your stats, and it kind of sucks. And then the models are so
oh my god,
the Wish versions of all your favorite celebrities.
So they're like,
wrong.
They're like, we weren't trying to do the movie, but we're gonna do the lineup of the fucking movie. So
if they could only find Bollywood actors to play the Avengers, that would have been a better choice.
Yeah, Tony's looking struggle Tony back there.
Seriously, he looks like Angry Joe.
Captain America looks like a discount Army Hammer, like with a trash can, like
that's just like the most right now. Generic white guy look.
They all it looks like trash. But yeah, like Paul was saying, like when you equip stuff, you don't actually see it in game. Whereas in Final Fantasy, if you equip a different sword, you actually see the sword during everything, like when you're fighting, when you're walking around in the cutscenes, everything. So, and then like this is like more like Destiny 2 style, where you gotta You gotta wait for content to drop.
Yeah.
There's just like there's not
The
much to do.
enemies are like bullet sponges, which never feels good in any game unless the game has a little bit of character or humor in it. So you're playing the Incredible Hulk, right? And you're like scary and green, and in your imagination as a man child, you go, everyone should be terrified of me. And then this AIM scientist in a beekeeper outfit with a shock stick is like, hey, look, it's the Hulk. I got this, guys. And then he owns you. And you're just like, this is not the game I was looking for.
Right.
The Iron Man actually feels good because he flies around and he shoots stuff. But again, those enemies are boring, generic jobbers. And then the bosses are lame as fuck too. Like you fight the Abomination, you fight MODOK. Who are the other enemies?
In their defense, the movies are kind of the same though. Is that a hot take?
Well, it used to be
are
true.
Generic, and then
It
the,
used to be equal opposite.
Villain is like, okay.
Well,
used to be.
That first boss battle against Taskmaster, that was, I guess that was the bait and switch right there.
Yep.
Wouldn't y'all say? Because like you come off of it, like you feel real good because you see all this action going on, and then you get to the Abomination, and it's like this slugfest. It's just why?
Just jump kick.
Yeah.
It's like Mortal Kombat 2. Just hold duck and then uppercut your way to Shao Tsung. And then you beat the game, and now you're a boss. No fatalities. You just lay low. Toasty.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it sucks because there's so much lore. X-Men Legends 1 and 2, which predated the Civil War Ultimate Alliance, or not Civil War, Avengers Ultimate Alliance. Those were really good games because you had a lot of comic trivia, a lot of Easter eggs, and the environments exploded around you. And it felt, I mean, to me, the graphics were ugly as fuck for the GameCube, but I thoroughly enjoyed the banter too between all the characters, like the Juggernaut and Toad and X-Men arcade game. We need more of that.
Well, if you're into X-Men arcade game, and Sean's gonna give me a lot of hate like he loves, dude, I can't stress enough. If you're into like just casual, like mobile brawlers, Marvel Contest of Champions, it's now in its 6th year. It's a game that started off as just kind of like basic, it's limited because it's a mobile game, but like, tap, hold down, power ups, and then, you do your like special moves. There's like 3 special options. At this point, there's like 200 characters that you can select from, and it's become more than just like a brawler where you actually have they have nodes. So it's almost like you can't just punch and use the biggest beast to fight and win. You have to like approach it like a puzzle. So they have like nodes that require you can only hit if you evade like 5 times and shit like that. But that's a fucking sick ass game. And also the marketing behind it is really strong, where they do things that are timely. Like most recently, they usually release like every month. They release like 2 different characters. Most recently, they released Scarlet Witch because the Wonderverse show that's coming out, and then they released Spider-Ham, who obviously is real big because of the upcoming
Spider-Man or Spider-Ham spinoff.
Yes,
with John Mulaney as the voice.
Yes. Hopefully he's able to get through
rehab,
his alcohol struggles, but
yeah,
we embrace that here. So he's always welcome on the show.
I'll pull some strings. I'll go back to the stand-up circuit when we're allowed. Yeah, that's, I think, the best mobile game though that's really made phones more like games is obviously Fortnite, but also Call of Duty came out with a mobile game, and I heard Call of Duty is actually making like a surge back, right? Because like Warzone and the Cold War one, not great, but it was all right, So, do you guys play anything else? You guys Candy Crushers when you're on the shitter?
The only other game I've really played during the pandemic is Fall Guys, which you're these like little penguin looking things, and it's basically MXC, where you're in giant like obstacle courses and you just get knocked off, and there's 60 players at a time. So they went with the Rocket League model where they released it on PS Plus for free, and also on I think Steam. So yeah, you're competing against like 60 random people on the internet, and it's the motor controls of these little, they call them beans, are not great. So it's just funny because you see people like falling over all the time, and you can earn little costumes, like dress up as like animals or fast food items and random stuff like that. But yeah, it got big on Twitch for a while, and then
Among Us kind of took over.
Yeah, Among Us took over. I still haven't played it, but I've played like variations of other games that are kind of like Among Us with
Werewolf Mafia.
Yeah, the social what's it called? There's a term for it, I don't remember.
Having fun with women. No, I don't remember what that feels like. A party?
Why you gotta call me out?
Bro, I didn't shine a light on you. I'm talking about myself, bro. Yeah. Do you guys PC game, or is it solely console gaming or mobile gaming?
I did recently jump on the Hearthstone after like more than a year. So I guess that's still going, but
that damn soundtrack feels so good. Hear that guitar music, little campfire, and you start, yeah.
Hearthstone's addicting. I need to get away from it again.
Hey, one thing I'm curious about the group, now that we're moving into our final topic, at least organized topic, is movies and streaming and shows and shit. Did any of you guys watch Wonder Woman 84 yet?
Of course.
Yes.
I want to be a part of the conversation.
All right. So spoilers, spoiler warning. When you guys were watching it, were you guys mad about all the shit that the internets are pissed off about?
What are they pissed about?
Her being rapey.
I understand it. I didn't hate the movie like the internet did. It was just, I think it was trying to do a throwback to the Christopher Reeve era of superhero movies, and I guess most people these days don't want that. So they got mad at that and the plot and the cheese.
I'm 39, so I definitely was raised on the Donner films, and that was actually the charming part. What I don't like is the dated CG of the Themyscira. I don't like wire work. I don't like the fake Ninja Warrior they did at the beginning, because it felt kind of, I don't know, bloated. It didn't teach me anything. And okay, so Wonder Woman, the first movie, I loved because we don't explore World War I ever in cinema. And they kind of showed us, like, before the Germans were Nazis, they were just Germans fighting in a war because of Franz Ferdinand's murder. And, I thought that was super cool. And then the sets, and it was a period, and it was cool. But this movie, there's racism, and then there's 80s racism, where you're like, oh, we just never thought of it like that back in the day. And that's kind of like what this movie presents if you're not a history buff. The whole stuff in Egypt, that is a very sensitive topic. And Gal Gadot is a Israeli special forces person who supported like the murder of 4 Palestinian boys. I'm glad I can bring it up on here. I don't think anyone here is too sensitive.
No, not at all.
And so, I mean, I have no stake in that, fight. However, I can understand somebody, on either side being like, just don't bring that shit up. Don't put that in a movie, because the war is still going on. We still have that as a hot button topic. And then the body rape thing, it was just one of those like head scratchers. Like, I don't know. It's just weird, like why would you not just rewrite it? Maybe make it a guy in a coma, not a guy that was like living his life, and then he doesn't remember getting laid by one of the most beautiful women in the world. Another thing too would be a lot of people don't know Wonder Woman's powers. Are you guys familiar with her powers? So she
Yeah.
could
I am
fly.
not.
She could fly. She is actually as fast as the Flash, but a lot of people don't know that. And so when they see her like ice skating on the road in that car chase scene and pushing things, it's just weird. It's just a weird scene. What else? Because I did think there were charming moments, but
Wait,
it was
she
also
can
too
fly?
Yeah, she
Mhm.
can fly.
Why isn't the lasso so that she can like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man around? Like, what if she can fly? Why is she lassoing?
Why does she have an invisible
I haven't
jet?
seen the movie, so I don't.
Oh, whoops.
No,
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I
Uh,
also probably I don't.
Yeah, he's not vested in any superhero movies really that
So-
much, unless it's like
No.
some hardcore shit.
Right.
She learns how to fly in less than a minute in the movie.
More crazy is Steve Trevor learns how to fly a like MiG. I think it's a Russian MiG jet, and he's from like 1930 like propeller jet planes. He's like,
Is that
oh yeah,
Captain Kirk who learns how to fly a modern war jet?
In 10
yes,
seconds.
Chris Pine is Captain
Sweet.
Kirk.
Yeah.
That is
I love
correct.
it.
Yeah.
I want to say like Chris Pine and Pedro Pascal are probably the better parts of the movie.
Mhm.
Definitely Pedro Pascal. Oh my god, like just seeing Max Lord, who is still one of my favorite villains. Definitely he was right in on that like, Trump vibe, but I feel like his character, like I love the whole scenes where you actually see him, in the comic books it's more about, it's mind control, but and then he gets a bloody nose, or
Pulls an
his human
11.
ability. Yeah, but what they did and how they kind of wrote it for cinema, it was fine. I'm not hating on it. Yeah, definitely I had a bit of a problem with the way they wrote bringing back Steve Trevor, because there's so many other ways they could have done it.
Barbara Minerva.
Actually,
oh, sorry.
Minerva, yeah, no, for sure. No, Minerva, like she's cool and she did a good job on the acting, but yeah, again, the way she moved, it wasn't like the cheetah. I don't think you don't want to see her like, you don't want to see the movements. You want to see something different. Kind of, I think what you're saying, Paul. Like they
Update the
could have done a
action
lot.
scenes. Yeah. Also, Gal Gadot has those like I want to fuck you eyes, and she can't turn it off. So when they're having lunch with Kristen Wiig, she kind of looks at her like that, and then my brain is like, those two are gonna scissor. This movie's gonna be awesome. Again, I'm a giant, massive pig. But later, Barbara
Okay, Trey
Minerva.
doesn't eat pig, so you don't have to worry about him. He's your friend.
Yeah.
Barbara Minerva, she turns into the cheetah and they fight, and they're swinging on these like ropes in this like battle scene, and then they scissor, like their legs like match up, and then they have to fight each other. By like, yeah, it's happening. And then I put my trench coat back on because I had blown my load, and I left the state, changed my name. That's why I'm going by Mr. Plow Meow.
Lies.
Plow me out. That's so good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because this is just Mr. Plow, because I like to plow people's driveways. Yeah. Sorry. You know what came out at the same time though, as Wonder Woman was Soul. Did you guys watch it on Disney Plus?
I
Nope.
haven't yet, but I will.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I can't wait.
Okay, good. Then I'll just say I liked it. And if you have feelings, just remember what Up did to you. Moana. If you don't want to confront those feelings, then don't watch this.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
have some tissue.
I'm
I'll be ready.
I really don't like Pixar movies very much, but like the first 10 minutes of Up, I'm like crying like a little baby
Mhm.
when I saw it. Like got me somehow, and then the rest of the movie I didn't care about that much. But the first part, like, oh my God, I'll never watch it again because I don't want to feel like that.
Oh, okay. So what's kind of
The saddest
interesting?
I've ever felt watching a movie.
Yeah. So I hate all the shit that happens when they're on the right, when you see them like that. but everything that they do in the city and the character models, the animation, it's freaking just, I don't know, it's beautiful, honestly. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was kind of like a giant step into what we do with CG films and how we tell them. But Soul definitely has, like, I don't know, it's, to me, it's a masterpiece. I was in band, like I said earlier, and this guy's a music teacher, specifically jazz, like middle school teacher. That's a very grounded story. So
Cool.
I wish I could talk more, but no one's seen it in the in the chat. So
Going back to Wonder Woman,
yeah,
I want to touch on the nerve, on the fact that DC decided to release Wonder Woman, a tentpole summertime movie, on their streaming service, and Marvel still can't release freaking Bucky Barnes damn TV show, the WandaVision, and they can't release the the Scarlet Witch movie, or no,
Black Widow is what you're looking
Black
for.
Widow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's up with that? Like, seriously,
They're not desperate. Because
I think aren't the people like involved with the movie kind of pissed? Like, fuck, this isn't how we wanted to do it.
talking about
I
DC.
mean, yeah, because like the director of Dune, he said that like you're gonna kill the franchise if you release it on streaming first. So Dune is actually getting pushed back, but the other slate of Warner Brothers movies, they're still coming out on HBO Max.
Oh, that, yeah.
Same day. So I mean, it's AT&T's doing. They, yeah, I don't know the mindset. Like, it's cool for us at home who don't want to go out to theaters and contract COVID, but the producers, anybody that gets a percentage return, they're losing out on a shit ton of money. Like Patty Jenkins, like, she's probably losing money on this unless they made another side deal or something. So I don't understand, like, profit wise how they're gonna make out.
I mean, realistically, let's face it. I mean, when's the next time any of us are going to go to a theater in the coming year?
Even when I get like the double dose of the vaccine, pop, and then the second round, pop. Then
there you go.
Be up on that bitch, but
be sure to carry your case with you to the movie theater just in case.
Do you know anyone who's gotten the vaccine yet?
I
know a couple people, but
I have a few friends.
Yeah, me too. And they're all like medical professionals.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So hopefully the what is it called? Necessary. What's it called when you're working?
Essential workers.
Yeah, essential.
Essential.
Thank you. Yeah.
You think so little of them.
Oh, the bag boy that shouldn't be dying to give me my mochi. Yeah, my mochi or my boba tea. That poor kid. These Wendy's fries are cold. I'm sorry, I just got evicted this morning. Well, I'm gonna evict my foot up in your ass. Yeah, let's go full Karen. God, our country does not give a shit. So sad.
Not really.
No.
Hey, so Sean, what were your like top picks of like
So
film
I
or
didn't watch that many films in theaters this year, but I recently did rewatch Underwater with my brother. It's like if you like bad horror films, it's fun. It's definitely has like a Lovecraftian feel to it. So if you enjoy, if you have a fear of drowning or having sea creatures kill you, check this out. It's not the best film, but I think it's done well enough that it's enjoyable. Also in horror, The Invisible Man was the last movie that I saw in theaters before California shut down. It was supposed to be part of the Universal revival of the Monster series, but they botched that with that Tom Cruise Mummy. So they had the script lying around, and then Blumhouse took over, and they're like, okay, we'll do this. And this was actually it's a pretty decent thriller. It's more of a thriller than a horror film, I think. And yeah, it's just if you like, the general premise is, it starts off with you're not really sure if this protagonist is going crazy or if her ex really has the power to turn invisible and start murdering people. So,
Keeps you guessing.
yeah,
It's good.
I would recommend this one as a watch.
And Sean, I feel like one of the great things about this movie is there's a lot of ways to go wrong with when you're basically fighting an invisible enemy.
Yeah.
Like that can look real stupid, real easy. Like it's actually super difficult, I would think, to film a person fighting an invisible whatever, your ex-husband in this case. And
Yeah.
it looks really good. And like for me, that's a big sticking issue. Like if the shit looks dumb, like then I'm just like, ow, I can't deal with it.
Yeah, they
in
keep
modern
on
movies at least.
Yeah,
In
they
old
tease
movies,
it
I can
slowly,
forgive
and
that, but
yeah, they don't do it right away. It's just like small things.
yeah.
And then it just starts escalating. So by the end,
But I
when
mean, even when she's like getting dragged across the floor by her invisible ex-husband, like it looks, there's at no point am I like taken out of the movie like, oh, this is like stupid special effects, I can't deal with it. Like it looks good.
it's better than Wonder Woman 84 effects.
I haven't seen it, but I imagine you're correct.
But yeah, so I would highly recommend everyone go check that out. Even the two people that refused to podcast with us today, Craig and Randy, I got them to go, both of them to go and see this movie, which is a very rare thing. Like Randy is very hard to get him to do anything outside of his family dinners.
Ooh.
Okay, no, that's just
Shots fired.
Yes, shots fired. The one of the films I saw before Wonder Woman 84 was Tenet.
Yes, we got to talk about this.
So this is probably my movie of the year, because I didn't really see that many movies. I didn't see it when I was out in theaters. This was one of the few movies post lockdown where they were like, let's try this in theaters. And I've enjoyed all of Nolan's previous films, even when they were kind of out there. This one is also kind of out there, but if you liked, what was that one that? Sure.
Inception?
Yeah, Inception. It kind of has that kind of sci-fi weirdness to it. So here it's they can play with time. Basically, they can kind of, if you do a rewind button on your DVR, they kind of have that kind of power with it. And for all of you that are ignorant on film, Robert Pattinson is a legit actor, and he's actually probably the best part of this movie. So if anyone is still ragging on, oh, he's Batman, the Twilight guy, yeah, he's super charming, and he'll make a great Bruce Wayne and Batman in the
Watch The
film.
Lighthouse with him and Willem Dafoe. You get to really see his acting chops.
Yeah, I still need to watch that.
It's weird though. I'm just letting you know. It's gonna be.
I'm good with weird. I'm good with weird.
Okay.
Dude, so I would have to disagree with you, Sean. He was really good, but I got to go with William Browning. Dude, that guy was fucking amazing. I forgot how good of an actor he is. And he's such a good actor. He's kind of like a chameleon where you don't even know it's him. And I was like, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? No,
you mean
man.
Kenneth Branagh?
Kenneth Branagh, whatever the fuck. Yeah, Kenneth Branagh. Thanks for
I really
correcting
love
me.
this actor.
I love him so much. I don't know.
Kenny
his name.
G, so awesome.
Kenny G's the greatest pianist ever.
Kenny Rogers, oh, so good as the general, or as the
But-
colonel.
Did everybody bless you? Did everybody watch Tenet here?
I didn't. That's why I was going to take my headphones off.
No, but you could go in
Okay.
spoiler territory if you want.
I mean, even spoilers, like we're still not going to get it right. Like you can talk about it, but
We can
will still
talk
be
about it
confused
without-
during the movie.
We can talk about it without spoiling it.
So, I mean, first and foremost, Tenet, and then like all the little trailers is like all I have for you is a word, Tenet. So just give it to me straight. Is that the magic word? Is that how they make time go backwards? That's all I want to know.
No, it's
No.
it's basically a
Son of a
code
bitch.
word for you to basically
Palindrome.
connect with other people that have this ability. So it gets you in the door. But there's like a machine that allows for the time travel, and then you can also send stuff backwards in time from the future. And then you can also rewind yourself. So if you step through the machine, you are actually moving backwards in time. So that allows you to, have knowledge of what's going to happen. And also you have to adjust because you're moving backwards and the rest of the world is moving in the opposite direction, so you have to compensate for that. So it creates some like weird interactions. But he also films it pretty funky, so you get to see all this happen where the protagonist is moving normal, but he's traveled back and the whole world is moving in the opposite direction. So visually it's interesting. I've heard the sound engineering is really good, but I have crappy TV speakers, so I didn't get to hear that. But yeah, it becomes kind of a mind fuck at the end. You're trying to figure out what exactly happened, and there's a lot of YouTube videos explaining the ending. So yeah, if you were confused like at the end of Interstellar, you might have that similar kind of questions with this film. But yeah,
Yeah,
I recommend it.
Do you have a gaming headset?
I have a busted one. I need to get a
Okay.
new one. Yeah.
Because I have noticed
No.
that I can get bass in like my wireless headsets when watching movies on my PS4. Because yeah, I hate when the reverb is really bad and it just sounds like trash. You're like, is this a car chase? Is a woman giving birth?
Yeah, and the soundtrack's really good too. The soundtrack is done by Ludwig, what is his name? Göransson, the guy that
Yeah.
did Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
He did, instead of Hans Zimmer, Hans Zimmer was tied up with another project. So
Wonder Woman.
Ludwig came in.
No, he did do the soundtrack for Wonder Woman.
Oh, man.
Oh, he sure did, didn't he?
Yeah, because I was
Which
like,
is-
this soundtrack's okay. Just this movie's not.
No, he
Yeah.
was doing he got tapped to do Dune's soundtrack, so he wasn't
Oh.
available to do Tenants.
I see.
Which he was a huge Dune fan as a kid, so I understand him
Picking his projects.
ditching Nolan for that project. But yeah, Ludwig did a great job. It definitely has kind of that electronic feel to the soundtrack. So yeah, the soundtrack's good. I guess the bass would be good if you have the headphones or stereo. And
Omar, you saw it too?
What's that, bro?
You saw this movie too as well?
Tenet, yes.
And you
Yeah.
liked it?
I fucking
You
loved
give it
It
the
was
thumbs
dope.
up? Oh shit.
Oh hell
okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like again, it's a throwback, right? This is a big time film where most of it was done pre-COVID, and a lot of the approach for Nolan is like in the theater experience, and yeah, the sound is fucking impeccable. We've been seeing a lot of things like obviously Mandalorian has taken up the majority of our kind of like peripheral with what good COVID produced like filmmaking or streaming shows look like. But Tenet, it's definitely refreshing. You watch it and you feel like, damn, this is exactly what I missed about the theaters. The acting was superb. The writing was fantastic. Fucking love the scene between freaking Michael Caine and what's his name?
Michael Caine and a tangerine.
Yeah, and the protagonist. There you go. So
We were in Bali once, and there was this
John
tangerine,
Washington.
the size of a tangerine.
yeah, that guy.
John Washington.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Denzel's son.
All right. Yeah,
John
I haven't
David
seen it yet, but I've been waiting for it to like be a rental and not something I have to pay like $25.
Yeah, so no, I actually watched it on Redbox. I went to Redbox and got it. So you can go rent it for $2 now at your
Okay.
local Redbox.
I've never done Redbox, weirdly. So
Yeah, it's $2 for a night. It's
okay.
probably the cheapest way you
Okay.
can rent.
Bro, it's sketch as fuck, bro. You gotta go to 7-Eleven. They always have it next to an ashtray and a trash can combo, and it's just surrounded by spit. Like, what the fuck, bro? And why are the birds pooping on the red box? That's not cool. It's not cool. Oh, and scratchers. Bunch of loser scratchers. Holy shit, that's Tenet?
No, this is Possessor, which, Sean, have you seen this or heard of it?
I have not seen it yet.
I heard about it.
You've heard of it,
I
though.
heard of
Okay.
it.
I think
So
I've
Red
heard of
Letter
it.
Video.
Yeah.
if you like horror
I do.
and thank you. and good movies, like this to me, this is the best movie of the year, I think.
Okay.
And it's scary, it's fucking freaky, it's super smart, it's like hard. I don't want to say sci-fi, but like kind of sci-fi / horror. And it is good. It is a face melter. It is like, it's effed up. It's like the violence in it is very hardcore. There's like an uncut version and a cut version, I guess. Like, I only saw the uncut version and it was just like, oh shit. Like, it is bloody and gangster and fucking crazy, but not like, not just like, oh, it's scary because there's like torture or whatever and people are bleeding. Like, it's got a good story that brings you in, and then the fucked up shit happens and you're like, oh, like, I don't know, like it takes you off guard and you're just like, god damn. And it looks so good. This is a funny like picture image of the movie because it's not super representative of what you're going to see in the actual movie, but it's like the popular image on the poster and everything like that. But it is scary and it is a freaky ass movie. It just blew me away, I would say, to watch it. Especially, so Sean, I saw you got some horror stuff in there. Obviously you can like handle that kind of thing. I think it's only cost like $2 to rent right now on like Apple TV. I bought it for like $6 the other day because I'm gonna watch it a million times.
All right, I'll definitely check that out.
I just also want to drop. I'm gonna flex. So, this site Letterboxd is basically like a movie diary website. So I watched 237 movies this year. I made the most of my COVID time, just letting y'all know. And here's my top 10 of the year. So Possessor is number 1. Baccarat is this sick ass, like anti-white capitalist bullshit movie. It's like funny. It's got good like B-movie style action. It's really good. That one is a little bit harder to stream like legally, I think, and the rental is still like $5 or $6, but like I would say it's definitely worth it. It's an excellent movie. And the best superhero movie of the year is not Wonder Woman, it's Promising Young Woman. And it's maybe not your standard like dress up superhero, like in a costume type movie, but she is a superhero for sure, going out vigilante style, doing her thing, and just came out like at Christmas, I think. So it's brand new, and everyone should check that shit out.
Carey Mulligan.
Yes, Carey Mulligan's in it. It's really good. Definitely a wake up call if you're type of dude who likes to move in on some drunk ladies at the club. Maybe don't watch this. It's gonna be a wake up call for you. But otherwise, you'll love it. It's very badass and has a controversial ending. I think someone like walked out of it in Sundance or whatever festival it was showing at. Someone was like upset and left. But I thought it was great and a very good movie. So
all right,
there you have it.
Dude, you flexed it fucking real hard, bro.
I did flex, and I felt like I don't know why, but even before COVID this year, I was like, I'm watching some fucking movies this year. And so on that site Letterboxd, you can give everything a rating and like the date you watched it, and you can actually like write a little review of it if you want. And in the past, I never wrote reviews, and then this year I was like, I'm writing a review for every movie I watch. Sometimes they're just like one sentence, whatever, but it makes your recall of what you watch so much better. And maybe it's just because I'm getting old, but like it's hard to remember all the shit I watched this year. But like you put it on there, and you can just go back and be like, oh yeah, that's right. This movie rules, and this is why. Let me tell you. So I would say, and one of the cool things about it too is, you think I was getting paid for this, but I'm not, is you can see what your friends have watched, and they're little, it's kind of like social style. And the people who are like committed to it, like I'm just, I'm texting my friends who watch movies, like, and I see it on there. I'm like, oh shit, you saw this? Like, would I like it? Or like, that shit sucks. You have a horrible opinion on movies. You should just give up on ever watching anything again. That type of thing. So
yeah, I had thought about using Letterboxd. I should have done it last year. Well, like a year and a half ago, like, because I was on Movie Pass when that was still around, and I watched like 90 films in the theater that year, which but yeah, I didn't review anything because I'm lazy.
We got Lauro back, and we also got Daryl. What's up, bro?
Hey.
What's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing, bro?
What's up? I realize like it's at Central Time.
It's all good, man. You're here. We're happy to have you. So we like talked about like a shitload of stuff, and right now we're talking about film. So film and streaming and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like top picks or things to avoid. So.
Yeah, Daryl, I barely know you, but I already respect your film opinion. So I would be excited to hear what you liked in 2020.
Hold on, give me a change up. I realized like I was just working. Decided what I like. Just like I'm supposed to list stuff I liked this year.
Sure.
Yeah, films of 2020.
Sean thought Tenet was the best movie of the year, and I thought Possessor was the best movie of the year.
Possessor, and what was the other movie? Someone saw it.
Tenet, just because I've only seen
a little indie movie called
4
Tenet.
movies.
I haven't watched enough. I've been watching a lot of stuff that like old stuff, and just catching up and like using a lot of stuff and like for reference for work and story, catching up on story. Like I've been going through all the Kurosawa movies, and then going back to watch I watched the old Steven Spielberg movie that I didn't know like you made before, Jaws, stuff like that. And
yeah, I watched the old one too. I watched Empire of the Sun for the first time, which wasn't his
classic,
best
man.
Yeah, it's when I watched this, what's it called? Let me see. There's one with Goldie Hawn. I can't remember his name. Goldie Hawn, and it's about like these people on a run because they broke out of prison. Yeah, it's like, what? This is a Steven Spielberg movie? I've never seen this, heard about this movie, but it was on HBO Max. And he made it. It's the movie he made before Jaws, like the movie right before Jaws. And yesterday I watched this movie called Sylvie's Love.
Yes.
Yeah, on Amazon
So
Prime.
good.
Yeah,
Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, it's a throwback, like Tessa Thompson, and like it's a throwback to like them old like Cary Grant, you know, what's the name? Hepburn. What's her name right now? I can't remember her name.
Audrey.
Yeah, Audrey Hepburn, like, you know, the Robin Holiday type stuff. But and it like looks like that, like it's filtered to have that kind of like film grain and feel, and it's about like this couple. I mean, these people that met in the 1950s, black people met in the 1950s, and you know, in the summer of 1950s, and started their story. You know, it was pretty nice. I was surprised, like, how much I enjoyed it. like I try to watch as many things I can, but I was surprised, like, yo, this is a gym.
Dude, she's a fucking awesome actor. I love watching her like in roles where, you know, she's a different character. She's like kind of very three-dimensional in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the her love, I think that's Kerry Washington's husband, right? He's like an ex-football player. He's produced a shitload of movies, a lot of big films. But damn, he was such a good actor.
Like something like that. I'm not sure which one she's married to. Like, but one of her husband's connect. Like, he's the dude that made the movie along with Tessa. They produced it because like a lot of people was telling like no one wants to see these type of movies, which I can see like people saying, because they did that with Queen's Gambit's another one I really like. That's a hit, and again, it's like this movie that took forever to make. You know, like story took forever to make. But yeah, like I don't know. I can go on and on. I don't need to go on and on though. Like there's a lot of stuff I like. Rewatching Cowboy Bebop, you know, things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice that HBO Max has Adult Swim ready for us.
Okay,
for sure.
We can talk about that. Like how I think like they don't know what they got. Like
HBO?
Yeah, HBO knows what they got.
Oh,
the people that own HBO don't know what they got. Like HBO knows exactly what they're doing. Like HBO knows, even Cartoon Network knows. But like you said, they have the Adult Swim side, all that kind of stuff. But when they like, again, I maybe mentioned this last time we talked too. It's like when they sold Crunchyroll, to Sony, it's like that means y'all really don't know what you got. And then like how even they handle the dealing with the directors, all the directors that were on like that they're putting all the movies out on the streaming, which I think is the correct move, but you got to be able to handle the directors that you're dealing with. That means they didn't even deal with them. They're all like angry about it. It means you're just doing it because of the numbers or whatever. You're not really thinking about like why you should move it, like why culturally you should move it.
Yeah, you're gonna have a Chappelle situation.
Yeah.
Where your creators are gonna like, you know, get the public involved, and then you might have a mass boycott. With all the streaming, you can actually, you know, negotiate. So
I mean, potentially, I don't know what, but yeah, like it could potentially like a Chappelle situation or something of the sort. And it's like, they don't know. And then like even how, like he said, Adult Swim, you mentioned, and then how Cartoon Network is doing like some crazy good stuff, even on streaming stuff. You know, I watched another one, Close Enough. I liked Infinity Train. I liked, but they gave all the content is going to be filtered through the heads of the Warner Brothers animation now. It's like those people that made like the Scooby-Doo and stuff are like, okay, like you can see how winning they're it's like you're trying to make them go through those whatever executives, which they're probably like old school executives too, like because you know the way they pushed out Scooby-Doo. It's like you're gonna like mess up your talent on that end potentially, gave away your anime.
And it's like, was that a flop? The Scooby-Doo Blue Falcon movie?
No, No, I don't think so. Like it's because of I think it's because of COVID, but the COVID it wasn't a flop, and it's actually I think it's people like it. Like I like it. I think it could be way better even within the concept that they were pushing it. But and it's also like high quality for what they're going for is like high quality, for what they're going for. I just think like you're missing, you don't have to go that route. Did anybody watch it in here?
I saw the bad reviews of it.
Okay.
And then I only know about the relevance of Scooby-Doo because of Shaggy Ultra Instinct when he beats up those bikers. And then it became this huge meme over the course of like 2 years.
Yeah.
And you got these amazing CG artists that are on YouTube just like, all right, I'm going to cut this in with the Avengers. Here comes Shaggy. He's whooping on Thanos. And you're like, what? So, there's definitely a resurgence. Also, hate saying it, but the fetishization of Velma.
Yeah.
Like
you're missing
people love Velma, like thirst.
Yeah. I mean, they don't understand these things. Like you're missing like the fact, like, like I feel like they don't understand these things. Like Velma was my favorite in the first place, like years ago, she's always been favorite, but she's been like that for a while. And then like Shaggy to me was sanitized in this movie. Like he's boring, like because they sanitize him. They don't want him referencing the fact that he probably was marijuana smoking hippie in the 70s. That's probably what he was doing. But they took that away, even like referencing.
They took that away.
Like he's not that at all.
That's like an essential part of his character.
Yeah,
it's his core.
It's his core. He's sanitized. Like he's because of that, and he becomes boring. I'm like, you're missing that side of him that because of that, it's really like you're missing that. Like, and he, and it's crazy because he's a kid that grew up like in the movie. He grew up in Santa Monica. Like it's like he's a teenager grew up, and he hangs out on the beaches, and it's like you got all these things that would be cool, but he should be that kid. Even like if he's not marijuana, maybe he's like a punk kid, or like he's the alternative, and he's like a lot of these introverted, like kind of like to themselves. That's why he talks to the dog. That it's like that's not Shaggy. There's nothing wrong with those kids. I think that could be cool too. But while you make Shaggy that, you can, do what other thing. You can introduce another character if you have to, if you really feel like that's that important. But I think it's not that important. There's a reason why Scooby-Doo keeps coming back. It connects to us. Like it's working. You don't have to like change certain things. You look at what those characters are to the current culture, in my opinion, but they're also setting up like this Hanna-Barbera universe, which is what I would do. They have a lot of Easter eggs and things in that story, but maybe you read about them. That's like, oh, this totally will work, and it probably will still work. But like you mess up, you're making your Shaggy boring. Hopefully they fix that, like like Marvel did with Captain America in the sequels. Yeah.
Did you read the Hanna-Barbera or the Flintstones comic? Where it's kind of like
I heard
that
it's
was
pretty
really
good.
I think they should do that. They also did a post-apocalyptic Scooby-Doo story where I think Freddy dies and they're all locked up in a. And I know it's kind of like not for kids, but since we're adults and we all grew up with it, and these are compelling stories, you just go with it. You know, that's what the people want, and it's been proven on a different medium.
Yes.
So.
Hopefully they realize they can do that too. You can do it too.
Like, yeah.
Like, but yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Look what happened with the Archie stuff. Okay.
Sabrina and Archie.
Yeah, the two Archie. I read the comics. I was like, this is great. And then when I seen them there, they put Sabrina. I haven't even finished like the story, like the movie version of Sabrina. I read the comics, the new, thriller and adventure, the horror version of it. And but the movie was sanitized, but it's still way more like, it's adult, way more. But like the comic was, this is Omen, this is,
that's on my
baby.
That's on my to read list. But I read the Flintstones, which was amazing.
I got to read that. I gotta read
What
it.
if the Flintstone family was around actual cavemen?
Yeah.
No, it's like total social commentary on modern society. It's just really well done. But yeah, let's jump into comics. Comics of 2020. What have you guys read that you've enjoyed or want to run away from?
I have to admit, I just picked up the Marvel app Unlimited, and
Nice.
everybody's been telling me to read House of X, Powers of X, and then Swords of X. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that, but they're really catty. It's pretty cool. You got Sinister, you got Apocalypse, you got Exodus, but I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Sassy Sinister.
You got
Yeah, yes. Sassy Sinister is hilarious in that. Yeah, House of X was one of my favorite comic events. I guess story arcs of the year. It definitely, they rebooted X-Men, and when it starts out, you don't know where it's going, and it fundamentally changes not just one of the characters, but the whole pantheon of the mutants.
Yeah, and then death is
So-
not an issue. There's like no permadeath in Swords.
Yeah, which I mean was already a comic thing anyways, like a joke in comics, but
They
they
confront it.
do they confront it in an interesting way. So
But yeah, I have not read a lot
I haven't
because
read
I've
a
been out
lot
of the
either.
loop.
Yeah, I love like all the shit that Cantwell's
Um,
doing with Doom, with Doctor Doom. His title, I think it's on maybe like number 8 or 9 now, and Iron Man, I think it's like number 5. But he's the writer of those 2 books, and it's just like he really gets the character, but he is a modern writer. He's a writer for film, so he definitely, you could see that this is potentially some stuff that he's setting up for potentially the comeback of Iron Man in the cinematic universe, and then for Doctor Doom, his
Who's the writer?
iteration within the Marvel, Christopher Cantwell.
Cantwell? Okay, I'll have to check that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good
I
shit.
bought the first issue of Iron Man. It's on my pile of stuff I need to read.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, he's like come back from dying again, a common theme in comics, and he's trying to kind of like figure out what it is that he is and what makes Iron Man is the man or the suit, and they use a lot of old school characters like Unicorn and Hellcat, a bunch of just random ass characters that no one really cares about. But makes it cool.
Patsy Walker? Come on.
I seen a note about that. I don't want to like spoil it. Like I think I seen a note recently about the Hellcat stuff in that comic. Because I was like, huh, that's funny. Like I'm not gonna say it here.
Yeah, so it's good shit, and it's like she kind of is really like his Jiminy Cricket. Really tells him who he is, and he knows who he is. He knows he's a fucking total douchebag, but he's just still trying to do a little better. But he still is. It's just who he is, right?
Yeah.
But I love those books. I think the biggest thing with comics for me that kind of I looked at and watched was just the disaster in DC Comics, because I was a big fan. I was a real big fan, and I think when they sold out to AT&T, that's kind of like the nail in the coffin. So like I want to be surprised to see if DC Comics in general, they just cut down to like the like 10 to 30 characters that are really the money makers, and they just focus on those and don't even put out new type of shit, which is gonna turn off a shitload of writers.
They cut down to 34 titles now or something like that, and they fired a bunch of editorial. We covered that in some of our past episodes. And then I think upcoming now they're gonna have Dan Didio was pushing for 5G, so they've turned that into a 2-month future state miniseries run, and then everything will, I guess, reset again afterwards in March. But yeah, I don't know what DC is doing, and they lost one of their distributors. They moved away from Diamond to I think Midtown and some other distributor, and the other one dropped, I think.
The fandom was kind of a bunch of empty promises. as far as like Jim Lee being like the editor, and then I think we talked about it, right?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, how all the bridges are burnt. I watched a guy review like a DC movie, and the first words out of his mouth, I think it was Angry Joe, and he's just like, "Yeah, I only like the Trinity." And to me, if you're a real DC fan, that's basic. Like that's
So
super
basic.
basic. Also, like the writer for Green Lantern was like, "I hate Hal Jordan. He's just a boring, milk toast protagonist."
I'll give that. Hal Jordan is the most basic Green Lantern. Like,
Yeah.
if you like Guy Gardner, I will give you that. Like, Guy Gardner is a more interesting Green Lantern.
He's flawed, but he's likable. Like he has redeeming qualities, and life is unfair to him. Whereas Hal, he just jumps into shit. That's his only like trait as like a character. And then
Yeah.
Jon Stewart, I mean, he's a military guy too, but he's more. He's an architect. I don't know.
What about that squirrel-looking one?
Oh, Chip.
I wonder if DC is gonna. Yeah, I can see them like. It's not even doing that many comics. Probably gonna focus on film stuff, especially like getting through the HBO Max stuff. Like they're probably just not even gonna focus on that medium.
I think it's just a rebuilding phase, though.
Like they always do with New
But they
52,
might-
I mean,
Rebirth.
okay,
They've done it like 5 times.
not
Crisis
so much
2,
on the DC,
Crisis
because
1.
we all know very damn well how many times Marvel, brand new, all new, all different, same old bullshit. Avengers reset itself. What they did, like a soft reboot, twice in 2 years, and now it's caught up to what it is. And I mean,
They killed the Ultimate
unfortunately-
Universe. Sorry.
Right. They did. But I mean, my whole thing was, you didn't need to reboot, reset the whole universe again and again. And
right now DC's going through death metal, so I think that leads into Future State, which is going to lead into the reset of
the DC.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the thing that DC's banking on, is like what failed in the movies by making their heroes dark works really well in the comics. So you got the what's it called? The Mortal Kombat verse of DC. Gods Among Us. I thought that was an excellent comic. Then you had like Villains United. I was a fan of the Secret Six and Suicide Squad.
Injustice,
Injustice. And it was just like you have all these anti-heroes or literal villains that are just fun and interesting. And then with death metal, the Batman Who Laughs, is that what it's called? Yeah, it's just they keep having these superheroes have their one bad day, and they're just more interesting than their good guy stuff. It's like they forgot how to make wholesome cool again. And I find myself gravitating towards Harley Quinn, the cartoon show, to be where I see like a little bit of heart with a little bit of an edge. I don't know. I was a huge fan of it. Season 2.
I like the Harley Quinn show a lot. That's the show that I talk about. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
that's one of the better writing. Well, yeah, and they actually have a Harley Quinn digital first comic that's black, white, and red. But it has like that kind of vibe to it as a Harley Quinn show does.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going to reboot it. The question is how much they're going to actually invest in it. Like, we know they're going to reboot it. Like that's what DC does in the same way. But I'm wondering how much, again, like you're saying, they fired all these people, and I'm just curious how much they believe in it. Like, it could be comics right now, especially like the physical comics, they're kind of going in a like direction where they're slowly kind of like almost disappearing, especially like the single ones, like the smaller ones, and
the floppies.
Yeah, the floppies. And like the reason why is because like these people just making money believe that they don't make enough money, and it's kind of like what happened with like 2D tradition, 2D animation, traditional animation, like as if it can't make its film. It's storytelling. Like, it can make money if you tell good stories. It doesn't matter how, like, just like comics, it can make money if you do a good comic. It's going to make bank, like anything else. But you're you're not willing to like actually let it be a good story if it's not making the way that you think it needs to make the kind of money that you believe it used to make or whatever.
Yeah, and I would
You know?
blame that on AT&T.
Yeah.
But I am glad that they got rid of Dan Didio, because
Yeah.
I was never a fan of him. Him and his Nightwing hate, and forcing Hal Jordan and Barry Allen to be the the titular roles as Green Lantern and Flash and stuff. So yeah, I'm glad he's gone, and my boy Superboy Prime is back.
Is that why Titans is so bad? Is that they don't understand Nightwing? Because I tried to rewatch it and I still feel like there's moments, but anything in the Batman universe on Titans is just awful. Like unnecessarily violent and not true to the character.
No, like Dan Didio just hated Nightwing. The whole, I don't know, stupid Rick Grayson thing. I don't know how much he had to do with that, but yeah, he was in favor of killing Nightwing off or relegating him to like Z-list. I don't know. He liked his Silver Age. Like he liked his heroes from a certain time period, and anything that came afterwards, like Wally West or anybody from the 90s, like he wouldn't have it, so he set everything back.
I see.
Oh, so that's why he like, okay, I get it.
So Dan Didio got cleaned out during the bloodbath, the first bloodbath. So
The
Hey,
Purge.
really quick. Oh, one thing I noticed on Disney Plus for the Marvel section, and I'm not sure if we talked about this and I was just too drunk to remember it, but how they do the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4, they catalog it, and then they also have the order that they recommend in the timeline of watching all the cinematic films. Did you guys have you guys?
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't seen it, but that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So like, I'm not sure if they just recently updated that interface, but it's pretty cool.
They did it, I think, like 2 months ago.
Oh, was
3
it?
months ago? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're betting Disney. Well, they said last year, which again pushed some shareholders off too. It's like, yeah, we see this going to last a lot longer. We're just going to bet on our streaming. Like, we're just going to like. They said that, but they have that kind of control. They don't have like like AT&T is not controlling them. Like it's just Disney.
I don't know what AT&T is doing.
Well, I get it. Again, it's just they're not caring. I actually get the numbers. You have to still curate it. You can't just like tell people this is what we're going to do without actually look. This is what we're going to do. This is why we're going to do it. And I think they're potentially made the right moves, but you have to get your people that's creating the content to go with you.
Yeah, you can't just blindside everyone.
It's like, or else let them be with us and create new content for that move that you're trying to do. But like, yeah. So Disney is like doing all their Marvel stuff. I think, like I said, I believe, who was it? I think it was Jaws. Like I predict Black Widow will be on Disney Plus. Like I was telling people, like, yeah, they're just not announcing it yet. They're waiting for the right time to drop it. Like, yeah, we're just going to drop it here, like they did Soul.
I'm actually surprised. I'm really surprised that it's not on. I think Mulan was successful. I think Mulan was a dope film in its own right.
I think it flopped, man.
Yeah, it flopped.
Mulan flopped.
Well, I mean, a lot of it flopped just because of the politics, the stupid ass shit where
where they had the concentration camps in the background of one of the shots.
No, I think Mulan could
was
be
that
better,
it?
but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, no, they had the Uyghur concentration camps in the background of one of the shots. Like
okay. So what you're telling me is America can have fucking bunch of Mexican kids in jails and China can't do the same shit?
Not
that's
film it in a beloved Disney film.
Yeah, not in a Disney film.
Hey everybody.
That kind of hurts Disney's branding.
I mean, it's consistent with their ideology, but it definitely hurts their branding.
But again, Disney is, I think, historically kind of like, goes into the hearts and minds of kids, but honestly was run by a bunch of fucking rich white dudes that all fucking try to like, just bashing pussy and throwing dick pics up. So, I mean, that's the history of it. So you can't just wash that shit away. I mean, there's a shitload of bigots that still work at Disney. That's just what it is.
Can I just say they were a product of their time and they did their best, of course. Hey,
No,
Max,
you
you're
can say
supposed to
that.
say how with your left hand.
I think you can say that product at a time. I'm not sure you can say they did their best, but
Oh yeah, that's fair. I forgot about Song of the South. That's
well, see, that's not even the worst one. Like people always they only do that because like Southern South gets the biggest problem. I think is because Black people will come together and like basically like go after that if they feel it's wrong. The truth is, I think the current Black people will be able to like watch it and understand that it's messed up, and still like so we can curate and talk about why it's messed up.
Sure.
Now, but Disney's not going to take that chance. But I think like if you like, but I think the current like the way the mentality, because we don't only have that, you know, like they have that same plate company has Black Panther, you know what I'm saying, like in different times, but erasing it from the history, people can't even talk about it or deal with it, you know. And then even like how like they're doing things like making moves like Splash Mountain is now going to be Tiana, you know, Bayou kite stuff, which again, it's like we can see that you know this is messed up, but like hiding it and act like it didn't happen is a problem. You know,
yeah.
It's
Do a
like,
course correction
because
people
don't understand that people understand how these things are messed up or why these things messed up. So people will continue like make messed up stuff, you know, in which I can sit here and talk about the problems with Mulan in my book, but I won't do that. I have a problem with Mulan. I was like, ooh, because my sister watched it. She's like, she paid for it. So I was like, you know what? The whole family's watching. I'm gonna watch it with y'all. Because I was like, this is not gonna go well. Years like when it was making, I was like, yo, have you seen how they're the way they're going? This is not gonna go well. This is not gonna go well politically. You know, like it's just not gonna go well. You can do better. They're not doing it right. But whatever.
Oh no, I just fucking love that. I love that Jet Li was the emperor, and I didn't fucking realize it. I had to fucking rewatch that shit like in the end. Fucking loved seeing Donnie Yen and like a big fucking Disney epic. I mean, for me, I was like, I grew up hard on like watching a lot of manhua, like style Chinese Hong Kong films. So when it's mainstream to that point and you can see that shit, I don't know. I still look at the art more than the politics because I give a fuck about politics, really. But I think we should just fucking kill all those fucking white people. Fucking fuck those bitches.
I mean, yes.
But even the
but they're selling it to the Chinese.
But that's the thing is like they're curating it. It's like, well, no, you should curate Chinese because if they're really doing all those movies, you should actually bow down to like what Hong Kong did, not what China was doing. Yeah. Like so, well, they didn't do what Hong Kong was doing in those films. You know, like they didn't. It wasn't on the same level. Wasn't on the same level. You know, like as even like you know stuff before. To me, it's like no, I grew up on those films. You didn't even reference those hard enough. You are not going deep enough of what you could do with what you're trying to do. Just with that side of it, then you have the themes.
Come on, man, Gong Li though, bro.
Like
Gong
no,
Li.
okay,
we
so,
got to
again,
see her.
You have all the people like you know, like you said, the Donnie Yens, all these people that deserve that in the right roles. You know, like those kind of things. That's not the problem with the movie. You know, that's to me. Like, again, it's like I'm not gonna go in because it's whatever. It's Mulan's Mulan. Like it's like I'll let you enjoy it. I have to say anything.
Thanks, so bro. I think Omar's the only one that watched it.
No, there's people that
and Daryl enjoy
it. I know people that watched it and enjoyed it, and like my family, they all loved it. They all loved it, and they say I think too much. What stuff? I'm like,
you do. You definitely do. I don't know. For me, like it's
most of these Disney live action remakes don't hold up to the cartoon versions. Like the only ones I think are superior are possibly Cinderella and Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them, they've come up short for me. I'll watch Mulan at some point, but my expectations are lowered.
I think the lessons that need to be learned is that when you translate something from one medium to another, the artist's intention, the originator, gets lost in that translation. So Ghost in the Shell, it's a brilliant anime. The framing is very simple and it's very focused. And then you watch Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell and it's busy as fuck. And you don't get that like dirty mega cityness. You get this like modern cityness on top of everything else in the film. The music in Beauty and the Beast may have been like a 1-to-1 copy, but for some reason it just, I don't know, it felt weird and I didn't like it. And
It's lackluster.
Yeah, it's lackluster. There's something soulless, at least in a Disney film. I don't know. It just feels more engaging.
I felt the same way about Lion King too. With the
Lion King was like a nightmare for me because I was like, oh fuck, these are real animals. Like in my mind, I'm like, Scar is like you know, kind of anthropomorphic in its facial gestures, but when you see like a CG lion, like I don't feel like Whoopi
the realism
Goldberg's there.
it took away all kinds of emotion from what the cartoons were able to express with the exaggerated faces and stuff.
Yeah, like I watched an essay on Watchmen, the movie, and like
that was mundane. Yeah,
I didn't realize that because I had only watched the movie and then I read the graphic novel, so my perception was altered. But when I watched that, they were like, the comedian's supposed to be this old powerless dude that was once a badass anti-hero killing people, and that's the whole point of the murder. In this one, he's like, yeah, he punched a hole through a concrete wall, he could hold his own. And like Zack Snyder does that with all his films, is he misses the point and then he just does it all for the sexy parts with none of it being earned. Yeah.
So I have this, I don't know, of course I don't know Zack Snyder, but it's like, there's like, I don't know like what he's actually thinking or whatever, but I'm like, man, this dude, he does these like incredible like scenes and sections of a movie, but like as a movie, I don't like a lot of his movies. But like I like parts of it, right? Moments. And I was trying to, moments. And I wonder, it's like, why did he even do that? And it's not even as bad. Like Michael Bay, he like blows up the whole movie for me. But like he has like these really good moments and ideas that are dope. And I wonder if he's just doing it because he's like pleasing like notes from executives. I wonder if that's what's actually like messing up his storylines, is those notes. And he's actually figuring out he's creative enough to just put him in this movie somehow, and like, which is why he keeps getting hired.
Yeah, I think that might be it, and they might have convinced him that he's a screenwriter. Which,
well, no, the thing is, he might actually have better ideas, with contents and themes that he gets. Like, say he inherited a script or whatever, and he might can like flip it. But then like say you should put this in the movie, and he goes, oh, I can do that, and he figures out a way to do that instead of just going like, no. And the reason why he does that is because it's like he's thinking like, I'm getting hired, I'm getting paid 20 plus million just to do what they tell me to do on something I already know how to love to do. I wonder if that's the issue. So I'm curious how this is new, his new cut.
It's gonna be fucking garbage, man.
Yeah,
like it might be fun. No, okay, it might be fun. That's my point.
I watch Schadenfreude stuff all the time. I watch horror, like bad horror, and I love it. Mm-hmm. But this is a AAA film with like my beloved characters, and I just know too much of the lore, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I want to, you know, it's like if they cloned your dad after he died from a tragic accident and he started being weird. I feel like the movie Us is kind of like the, oh, okay, here you go. Here are your superheroes. Here's this like, I don't know, just body snatchers.
Yeah, because we all watched BVS, like that. And that was horrible. And then the Ultimate Edition of BVS wasn't much better. This is going to be like that.
BVS concept is like...
I mean, at the end of the day, Zack Snyder is a glorified music video director, and it's for sure. He shoots sexy scenes, and I'm all for it. But I feel the real litmus test is going to be that Netflix film. What's the one where he's directing? Where it's a zombie heist movie with Batista coming out. I mean, that's all his original idea. Doesn't seem to be a lot of CGI in there, as far as I can tell from the picture.
No, we already saw a movie with his original idea.
Sucker Punch.
Okay,
that was a 2-hour music video.
Yeah, exactly. I hate it.
That's all he can do. Like, that's all he can do, man.
Nah. Can you imagine all these people that were a part of that movie though? Like decent actors.
I don't blame them.
And then Oscar Isaac, didn't it?
Yeah, he was in that shit, man.
He sure was.
But the thing is, directors, they do things for different reasons, right? So like that was at the time he made that. That might have been something that he did come up when he was a 16-year-old. It's like what?
Like J.J.
was.
Abrams' Spider-Man with his son.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like it might have been something like, I'm just gonna do this movie, see how it plays out, and it's gonna be fun because I like again, I actually like the concept of what he was going for, but I'm like, why I wouldn't go with that direction, like because I say, this is in her mind. She wouldn't think this way. That's a cool idea to shoot in like her, escape, from the, this place. But why would she think of like samurai shit, which I love, but it's like that is not the character, like
Sure, it's just incoherent.
It's not the character. It doesn't go with the what these characters would think at this time. Is no way should be those kind of things,
Trey, we're talking about one of your favorite movies of all time, Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch? Never seen it.
Good for you.
I think
you enjoy the world more than us.
I think the world has a lot more film students, and that's what they don't know. Like they think they can pull like an 80s or 90s like flash in the pan, but I think deep down, we're like on the surface, Terminator 2 is kind of like a dumb action movie. But the reality is it's a kid that finds a surrogate father in a death machine that's, attacking his mom. And you have these like really grounded moments. Like Logan was an excellent superhero movie and it had a lot of emotion and everything felt earned. And it was a nice, like, I don't know fancy words.
Yeah, Zack Snyder he cannot do grounded moments that build a
Filoni
character.
can do, Favreau can do.
Going back to
Robert Rodriguez can do.
Yes,
he can
yes.
actually.
Yeah.
He can, which is interesting. Like I like the
Desperado, Spy Kids.
Well, that's what. Okay, so I'm
on the
I'm on the side where when it comes to like storytelling, especially in cinematic storytelling, you can get away with a lot of flaws if you're hitting those emotional themes.
Yeah,
those emotional themes, like even like the beats can be that if you are hitting those right, we buy into it. So like everybody you listed hits those right. James Cameron, it's like he tells like this most basic like stories, and it makes these billions of dollars. Like Titanic. Why did I make so much money? You know what I'm saying? Like, but
It really illustrates the point.
Yeah, but Rodriguez knows how to hit those emotional beats. Favreau, all these guys, all these people know how to hit those emotional beats very well with these crazy like fashion of sci-fi, whatever they're doing. He did, like Robert Rodriguez, he does Spy Kids, and Lava Boy, Shark Boy and Lava Boy, and like The Mandalorian and all these other movies.
Grindhouse, Machete Kills.
And again, I think they work because he finds those emotional beats that are going to hit and just make entertainment. Do you see his We Could Be Heroes on Netflix?
Oh, I didn't see that. I heard about it.
You should watch it.
Okay.
That's him.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It is adorably ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's charming. But it's like it works because what he's saying with the movie, what he's doing with the movie, and it's a kids movie, it's like this is charming as hell, but like this is silly.
That's why I like him though, is because
Yes.
he's not an edgelord. So like even in From Dusk Till Dawn, the band is a bunch of vampires, and then the body parts are now instruments, and it's just so like ridiculous but so fun. And then you had that quick tone change from Tarantino's first half, which was just the guy knows dialogue. He knows how to Chekhov's gun, like with Inglourious Bastards, where they're just having the scene in the bar and there's like guns pointed at each other's dicks. And then Fassbender pulls the number 3 the wrong way because that's German, or this is German. It's just those little details, and it's all done with just dialogue, storytelling, framing, and pacing, and maybe music. If you want,
he's a music dude. Like I think. Trey, did we talk about this? The hip hop video. Was that you had a conversation with?
I don't remember.
Well, okay, so like I was saying, a lot of these modern greats are basically hip hop DJs anyway. Like a lot of the modern great directors are basically hip hop DJs. They're taking scenes, remixing them, playing them for the crowd, taking that sound from that one album that no one knows about, and playing it in this movie because it works perfectly with this other sound, and remixing them. Tarantino's very good at that.
Kill Bill.
The dude that did Baby Driver.
Yeah,
he's good at that.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. But that goes back to like a lot of those cats in the past did it. Sergio Leone. That's why I thought I'd talk to you about this.
Right.
He's straight up doing that with he's taking America cinema myths, cowboy stuff, putting them all in one movie. These characters that are from these stupid like black and white TV shows stuff, whatever you want to call it. These old cowboy myth stories, and putting them in his movie, and telling it really well, and remixing it really well. Some hip hop stuff. I don't think he was doing that. And spaghetti westerns is considered some of the, in my book, like the best, like westerns.
Easy.
Yeah, easily, right? Like in this Italian.
No question. It's objectively correct.
And then Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo.
Yes,
which is funny because it's circular. Because it was Kurosawa films.
Yes.
And then you come back and like Samurai Champloo. I mean, personally, I love the sound edits. I do love Cowboy Bebop a lot, but someone said you were catching up on it or rewatching it. Yeah. And that's where we got the lo-fi movement, which ties it back into what we started talking about with Nujabes and MF Doom and that whole movement. So
Jay Dilla, all them cats. It all connects. And going back to why I brought this up is like Robert Rodriguez is a music dude. That's why he's about all this stuff. He
draws his own storyboards too.
Yes,
I don't know if you knew that.
That's
and
awesome.
That's a language that a lot of people don't have. So I could see like a Michael Bay just coked out of his gourd, just yelling at people, and also reminding his black actors they're not allowed to be any other type of black dude outside of the 90s. So you're only allowed to say, that's what I'm talking about. And
this is how we do it.
Now that's what I'm talking. Bring the rain. All right, make that money. I was like,
hey, Omar.
Yo.
That's what on my piece I was actually referencing. I'm not sure if I said I was actually referencing Dust Sudan. Like that's one of the things that inspired that piece that I showed y'all last time.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's why it's just good shit, man. I love it. Hey, so I think we're reaching that time where end of our talks. So we are on Instagram, we're on YouTube, obviously, Twitter, Facebook, but NerdinIn, you can find us there. Pimp our shit in your corner. And do you guys have anybody around you guys want to like drop something, throw something out there?
I could. Hold on.
What about Paul? What about some shit you've been doing? You've been into with your stand-up.
Or improv, stand-up. I do it all. Still doing the Keeg. I've actually been monitoring the chat on the Keeg while we've been on this show.
Dope.
So I think I've been present though. I haven't looked like I was ignoring you at all.
How's that possible? Because you're like one of the most present people here.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I'm just monitoring for pervs and for like people on Twitch because they're doing a show right now. They do want me to comment, but I can't comment because I'm obviously here. And I appreciate you having me on the show. So
for sure,
the Keeg is on Fridays, where basically people get together and we play games, and then the Keeg Live is like the Saturday show on Twitch. There's that. I'm also trying to do screenwriting because I guess Netflix is greenlighting everything, like the South Park thing.
Get the bag.
Yeah, so hopefully, because like we've all had time, right? And we all have ideas. And I've always wanted to do Supernatural crossed with stand-up comedy, being a road comedian. And I don't know if you guys know Supernatural, Dean and the Winchester brothers. Yeah, So hopefully I write that and someone greenlights me, and then I can sell it to the adult film industry. And we'll have a new genre of porn, which isn't just stepbrother, stepsister getting stuck under beds. So.
And Daryl will storyboard that for you.
I mean, if you could be making like off of those like what is it, those pinky Japanese films, maybe the ones who starred like what's her name? Oh man, it's like these Japanese like movie action horror that's slash porn. I might be down for it. Like it was like this is porn, but you have all this other cool stuff going on.
Are you
Adult
talking about
film,
live
bro.
action? Or are you talking about
It's
just
live
like
action. Live action.
Oh,
They have some of them on Amazon Prime if you want to check those out. I was like, oh man, this is straight up.
Huh.
Actually, there's some like pretty close on Netflix too. I was watching one and it was getting pretty
Of course you are.
NC-17. I was like, hey.
Oh, can I shout out to because we didn't talk about shows, and I kind of want it because that's what I've really been
Oh
watching.
yeah.
Okay.
do you-
Alice in Borderlands is a Japanese show, but it's battle royale,
Uh-huh.
just a series. So it's people pit against each other, and they die if they don't follow the directions, and it's got rules, and it's a really great show. So
Alice in Borderland. Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
that's all.
My quick shout out is to go read Something is Killing the Children. That's my probably comic of the year.
Okay, cool.
oh. How about you, Laura?
Shameless self-promotion over here. You can follow
Yes, sir.
me Instagram at cheeky_bastards, BASTERDS. And suffer along as I try to make it 6 months without drinking. You know, almost there.
Congratulations, man.
5 months to go. Yay.
Good job, bro.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And in the meanwhile, I'll be taking pictures of tasty foods, and you can follow me there and click on my link to read some of my stories.
Oh, sick. Sweet.
I can I share screen or no?
You sure can.
All right, I'm gonna share the movie, one of like some of the movies, and let's go to here. Like they're a bunch. They have a bunch of these kind of movies. So here's one. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so reason why I'm sharing this too is because you can see Tarantino is pulling from this stuff.
This
Oh,
is an
okay.
actual good ass
Definitely
movie,
pulling
too,
from.
don't
Yeah.
laugh. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, so but again, this is porn too. That's what anyway. Like it's female prisoners, and then they have a whole list of them. Like this is one, the female prisoner genre.
You get less the female prisoner.
Yeah, and then like you got a whole bunch of them, just different. And again, a lot of them is actually on Prime, so you don't even have to look. But like,
So he's
Got
a
almost
straight up.
5 stars. That's cool.
yeah, Sword of Vengeance, Retaliation, Sword of Vengeance. They're all like
Yeah,
basically like Yakuza bosses, you know.
There's
Girl.
Possessor too, people.
Yeah.
Remember to watch that.
Oh, it's right here. This is it. I'm gonna put it in my thing.
That's my #1 movie of the year.
Okay, I'm gonna look at that. So that
Cronenberg. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of them have like these kind of this. Have you ever watched this movie? This is my movie right here. But it's in
Dr.
that
House.
tone.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, it's in that
I've
kind
heard
of
of that.
tone. It's in that tone. But yeah, and then shout out. Here's my this is my stuff. If you want to find me, you know,
Everyone follow.
yeah, you can find me there. Thanks.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. This is first episode of the new year. Hope everybody stays safe and fuck. We'll see you guys soon. See you next episode.
Bye.
Oh, what am I doing?
Stop recording.
Oh, I knew that. Son of a bitch. I'm doing my phone today, so I'm like, the fuck am I doing?
You
Oh,
can
there
do
it is.
it. You're not there yet. Almost.